Your field stabilized. Intaro Adun.
Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today, it's going to be Light versus Horang2 here on a Fighting Spirit. Top left, going to be Light, one of the best Terran players of all time, and in the bottom right, Horang2, who is probably one of the best players for Protoss of all time, but not entirely sure about his rankings. So this is going to be an RJB replay sent to me over Discord. RGB recommended replays are always super, super good. So this is going to be posted the week between Christmas and New Year's Day. Kind of a slow time, right? Unless you work retail. There are no slow times in retail, that's for sure. I worked at an Apple store for about a year and a half. In like 2012, 2011, 2012 or so. And yeah, man, retail is hectic. Especially around product releases. I was there for the launch of the iPhone 4. 4? I think it was 4. That was when they went from the rounded edges of the iPhone to a more hard edge of the iPhone, and people lost their minds. Anyway, gateway coming up. Okay, everything is A-okay here. What's going on? I don't know. I might have a new t-shirt out there on falconpaladin.store for Terry the Overlord. For some of you who might be Terry the Overlord fans, if that's popular, we might be looking at doing, you know, Steve the SEV shirts. Or what do we call the probe here? Pauline the probe? I don't know. How do we gender a robot? I mean, they're just worker drones too. It's not like they necessarily have their own independent thoughts and stuff. I guess there's Probius. Probius is a hero probe, so some probes have names. I'm gonna go with Pauline the probe. That works for me. SCV checking around. Is there a proxy gate anywhere up here? Do I have to see what's going on? Is it a DT rush? I'd really like to know if it's DTs, because that's really frustrating to deal with, but nah. Just getting that cyber core out as you do. I mean, it could be DTs, actually. I'm not going to lie to the man. At this point, there's a lot of options available, right? Cyber core is a gateway to many abilities the Jedi would consider unnatural. And by that I mean Terrans would consider unnatural. Permanently cloaked warriors, unfair. Our stuff can cloak, but only for a limited time. That's lame. Yeah, man. I remember when DTs were announced. Well, actually, they were part of StarCraft 1 in the campaign. And everybody was like, ooh, they're cool. And then they announced they were going to be part of Brood War. And people were like, what? Permanently cloaked units. And then they gave Zerg lurkers. And Zerg was like, okay, that's fine. We get permanently cloaked stuff. I mean, mostly permanently cloaked stuff. And then I guess the Protoss can have them too. It's cool. Singularity charge. Expansion once Singularity charge is on the way. This could not be more possibly more standard than it is here. But yeah, factory before expand. Yeah, this is how this works, man. You get factory before expand if you're Terran. You get cyber core before expand if you're Protoss. That's how this is. I don't know how else to express this to you. Probe moving out. SCV. Gosh, scouts top right, and then cross spawn scouts bottom left. And gets to the base of Horang2 way too late to know anything. He doesn't know if there's an expansion here or not. All he knows is there's a Dragoon out, which means it wasn't a Command or Nexus first play. So that's good information to get. But, I mean, other than that, he's in the dark. In the dark. Yeah, handful of Marines out, but, I mean, we're working on Spider Mines real fast. So Dragoon pressure is not going to last too long. SCV. Steve the SCV is leading the Dragoon off on a chase. Steve, you're very brave. You're buying time for your friends back home to get Spider Mines researched. You're paying for that time with your own life. I wonder if there's an eject capability in the SCV where if it's taking too much damage, the pilot gets out. And then the suit explodes, but nope, he's not okay. Rest in peace, Steve. So bunker front, Vulture here, Spider Mines very close. Steve bought that time, man. This Vulture pilot maybe doing the same thing, buying time. Horang2 is not really finding It's very easy to get up here. Oh man, Spider Mines are already out. Okay, cool. So that's it. Your pressure's done. Like, unless you have Killer Bisu Micro where you can get close enough to trigger the Spider Mine and kill it before it fires on you by backtracking real quick, you just can't get in here. It's not happening. This is great. This is a great opening from Light. Of course it's a great opening from Light. What else do we expect from Light? These vultures are slow. It always looks like the game is broken when vultures don't have speed. Look at this guy. The red goggles on the red jumpsuit are pretty good. Oh, is he doing the thing? Ah, he did the thing. Never mind. Horang2. He's like, shut up, Falcon. I can do that. I'm cool. And he is cool. He did it. He didn't lose any Dragoons. Ah, now the SCVs have to repair the bunker, and that sucks for Light. He's really mad about it. Okay. You know what? You know what, Horang2? I like ya. That was fantastic play. Spider-Mine, a potential third base down here from the Protoss player. We got Dragoons all over the place. We got Spider-Mines laying all over the place, too. Siege tank is done, coming to join the party. And this is, I mean, this is some concerted Dragoon pressure here, isn't it? Yeah, so it's 1 SCV per Dragoon. We know that. And we're putting the tank under the lifted barracks. Sick move. So it can't be target fired because it's under a floating building. Oh, get under. He's not under. Ah, no, Light. He wasn't under the barracks. Okay, well, this is real bad now. The bunkers. So this game feels like it's sort of just over at this point. I don't know what. Good Spider-Mine connection killed one of the Dragoons. Great. This is where Horang2's like, dang, I should have sent more Dragoons over, but instead I wanted to probe up and, like, get a Citadel of a Dune. SCVs have to fight against Dragoons. They're decent fighters in this situation, but it's not good. Look at this Marine dying immediately. Oh, okay, all right. 2 Dragoons die in quick succession. But look at all this lost mining time. Look at these dead SCVs. It's 40 to 33 workers now. Everybody gets back to work immediately after the end of that incredibly traumatic ordeal. But man, I mean, that was a great hold by Light. I mean, you or I, if we were Light in that situation, we just die. The Dragoons kill all of us. I'd be like, go SCVs, and like they wouldn't do what I want them to do, which was surround the Dragoons, and I wouldn't be able to do it. The Dragoons would be slippery and just constantly firing at my dudes, and I'd just be very sad. Sad panda. Probe says, expand. Spider-Mine says, no. Bugs Bunny style. All right, well, that was a pretty exciting opening, you know, at the 6-minute mark between these two players. Can't really complain about it at all. Going for a Templar Archives, getting a Stargate. Bam. Vulture dies. Killed the probe, though. Spider-Mine dies, too. You got to send another probe over to get your third base. I like this from Light. The longer you're on 2 bases and your enemy's on 2 bases, the happier you are as a Terran player. Especially if it's a Protoss. You are very happy in that situation. Look at him taking his third base at the same time the Protoss is. That's sick. That is so sick. Hey, it's DTs. Hey, it's an Arbiter Tribunal. That's what I'm talking about. And right here, too. This is like the traditional location to throw down your Forge, Citadel, Templar Archives, and Arbiter Tribunal on this map is just like bonk. Biggity, bunkity, boop. But look at this. Third base on the way. Naked Expand. 1 Zealot coming up here would shut this down. Not quite a Naked Expand down here, but close. 1 Dragoon doesn't really stop a whole lot. But I guess these guys are covering this bridge, so this entrance is also pretty covered. Fair enough. Now we're clearing out spider mines. All right. Another armory in production for additional upgrades for the Macmore factories being produced. We know how this works. We know the PVTs. We know the ins and outs. Oh, the 1 HP save on that observer. What? I can't believe that's alive. I'm pretty sure that Light can't believe that's alive either. So now we're going to do some sharking, right? These Dragoons are going to run around and kill spider mines. Vultures are going to run around and try to plant spider mines. You know how this works. You've seen this play before. DT drop attempt doesn't go super well. I guess he gets 1 in the main. That's hot. Take this SCV building an armory. Take this SCV walking past. Oh, hang on. Get in the mineral line. Okay, killed. That's nice. Get out of the scan radius. Okay. Well, that was pretty well defended, I think. He did, whether by accident or not, he did force that shuttle to unload one of the DTs on the low ground where it does almost no harm, and then one gets in the main base, but it kills 2 SCVs and that's it. Not paying for itself by any stretch. 2 DTs are expensive, man. That's a ton of gas. That's why you gotta take your 3rd gas. No? Oh, I thought you were doing it. Okay, fine. Got the pylon wall to deal with Los Vulturos. And a hush kind of falls over the battlefield as both players are just macroing up. Hit that like button if you're enjoying the game so far and the cast. You can also support me over, let's say, PayPal. All right, paypal.com. My email address for donations out there is just falconpaladin@gmail.com. Pretty easy to find. And remember, one-time donations are great out there. For more recurring stuff, there's always patreon.com/falconpaladin. And there's always joining the channel as a member to express appreciation for the channel on a monthly basis for as little as a couple bucks a month. Had somebody a couple Sundays ago become a member at the Overmind level, which is awesome. That's the first person to do that. Most people just Zergling level, which is literally like $1.99 a month. And that's awesome. I really appreciate any kind of support you can give me, but likes and comments do the exact same thing. Helps the algorithm know that I'm here, recommend my stuff to other people. All right, 4th base warping in. Oh, Horang2 needs to do this because the 3rd base was so darn fast, especially in comparison to what the 3rd base of Horang2's was. So I like Light's position right now. He hasn't lost a lot of tanks. He lost that first one real bad. But other than that, he's been okay. These vultures have speed? No. Why do the vultures not have speed yet? It just got started. Is this something where he forgot? I feel like Light totally forgot about vulture speed. Oh, that might be really good for the Protoss, actually. We'll have to see, won't we? Recall on the way. There's another scan. And he scans here. No base. Okay, good information gathered. But there is a probe coming in. Oh, he sees it, too. Right before the scan wears off. That was nice. You probably noticed that probe come in there, right? He would send his vultures over lickety-split, but they're slow as molasses right now. EMP coming in. I mean, no one's forgetting... Well, no one's forgetting the important parts of PvT, except maybe for this whole ion thrusters thing. Ion thrusters problem that's being set up. And yeah, Horang2 is expanding bottom left. So he's kind of taking the diagonal here. He does need more bases to compete with Light, especially because it's Light we're talking about here. +1 attack on that mech. Gateway, +1 attack as well. Stasis coming in. I mean, we're just upgrades galore. Producing units galore. Trying to get this 3rd base. Seems dicey, but a recall in here would also be... Yeah, recall high ground. High ground tank dead. 3rd base, immediate evac. Get out of there. That one tank, turns out, was not enough. So immediate evacuation, lifting off of the command center. These zealots don't want to go down that ramp. That is just death on a stick. Ooh, getting the ComSat scanner. Love that play. Getting the refinery. You know, just killing everything you can and then maybe backing out. I don't know if you want to keep going here. All right, well, sure. We're just going to... No, you thought you were good. You thought the Dragoons would flee. They did not, actually. What is this? Ah, Dragoon holding the ramp. Look at this Vulture micro, too. None of the Vultures die to that Dragoon. So, oh, he canceled the expansion. Ah! That's humongous. Okay, this is great. Nura is leaving. It was great. You didn't have to leave. Guess more tanks are showing up, though. Yeah, the longer you can deny this 3rd base landing again, the better off you are to top right expand. Okay. Horang2 abandoning bottom left. He's like, well, that's not going to work out for me. Top right is where the cool kids are. Let's do that. So 3rd base doesn't die. A couple SCVs go down. It's 72 probes to 60 workers at the moment. We've got a Stargate on the way. Another Stargate could indicate carrier. 2nd Stargate could just be for a ton of Arbiters, though. If you're going recall heavy, sometimes the Arbiters die, and you need to replace them, and having 2 Stargates makes that easier. Yeah, one of my favorite sounds in StarCraft, man. The sounds of units cloaking. Hobbs just got killed by a missile turret. Didn't see it. Oh, that shuttle is empty. Bait. It was bait. Scans, beautiful scans where this army is, what it looks like. Scans down here too to see there's an Arbiter sharking around here as well. Another recall. This is a recall for sure. Coming right on up. Defensive Matrix gets tossed down on something. It's probably dead already. Abject Chaos at the third base again. It's just gateway units versus factory units here. You know what it looks like. +2 attack, +1 armor on the gateway, +2, +1 on the mech as well here. So upgrades are even. That is pretty good for the meching player, and he should be able to shove this away. This time, interestingly enough, Light didn't even bother lifting his command center. He's just like, we're good. Don't you worry your pretty little head about that at all. Yeah, everything's fine. It's all good. No worries. So Protoss, Horang2, top right. Good. Probably needs this base too, which is exactly what he is coming in here to do right now. Working on Kadaran Core, +50 Arbiter energy is always very nice. If you're doing this recall heavy strat, the more energy, the better. Is there anything in this shuttle again? Yeah, Zealots for Zealot bombing. Love a good Zealot bomb. So Light hasn't really been able to move out. We're 15 minutes into this game. He's got 3 bases. He's pretty happy about that. But every time he's been thinking about moving out, but his third base goes under attack, or the giant attack comes into his bridge here. 1 tank down, 2 tanks down. Zealots are taking some of that's a 3-4 tanks down. Yeah, 5 tanks. Okay, good. So he gets 5 tanks. He backs it out. Gets 5 tanks, backs it out. Vultures want to pursue. That's on them. They're dumb. If that's what they're working on here. Scans, sees what he's dealing with out here, says, I can do this. Decides to move out. Killing the Zealots and then allowing the tanks to deal with the Dragoons after that. This is probably a retreat position for Horang2, and it is. As he decides just to back right the heck on out of there. So, bottom left seated with Spider Mines. This base seated with Spider Mines too. Zealot gets eaten. Well, eats a Spider Mine and dies for it. So here comes Light. He just lost 5 tanks. He would have a much bigger tank complement here. But going after the newer sources of income. Oh, he scans. He sees this army down this way. Beautiful scans. But I think these 2 bases might just be dead. Unless a recall can save them. I really don't see any... This is interesting. So this is Light going after the summer home before he goes after the main base, which is what you want to do. I say this all the time. Go after the newer sources of income, and you'll starve out the Protoss a lot more quickly. Let them have all the production they want down here. If they don't have any income from this base, or from this base, or from this base, or from this base, or from this base, you're a happy panda. He knows this is a base, right? He has scanned this. He sent a vulture up here, and then he was like, never mind. We're going to let that one live for reasons I don't understand. Is he worried about a recall and not being able to respond to it? I guess he's just trying to get units out from that 12 o'clock. Another scan. Sees what's down here. I'm really extremely shocked. Recall 3 o'clock. Okay. So that's what he was worried about happening, is the 3rd recall at the 12 o'clock 3rd base in the first 18 minutes of this game. It's crazy. The command center is going to survive this again. Ooh, stasising tanks on the ramp is mean. It's really mean stuff here. All reinforcements have to come from this direction to wipe this out, and they do. Or, you know, just use the low ground while you're at it. Sure. I really don't know. I feel like this base is easily killable, but instead, Light's heading down to the south here to fight the army of Horang2. In fairness, if he wipes out the army of Horang2, he probably just wins the game, but I don't know. Like, usually the strategy here for the PvT is just kill enemy bases faster than you lose your bases. Good stasis there. Ooh, catching a science vessel is a nice pickup for sure. Oh, spider mines. Ow. 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 Okay, those zealots actually survived that encounter. So base trade scenario here. This 12 o'clock 3rd base, which never re-landed, by the way, is gonna die, but check this action out. Light's getting right up into the nitty-gritty here. Going after the natural base of Horang2, sending a couple tanks to maybe try to wipe out this 3rd base by themselves, with some vulture support, mind you. There are no cannons here either. Okay, that Dragoon is just dead, so 3rd base. Somehow this command center stays alive in ways I don't fully understand. All right, this is scrappy. I don't get it. How is this command center alive? Dragoons keep trying to come up this ramp, but it's like single file, and that's not good. These guys are getting out of here. And the natural base dies. The third base is taking tank shots from, 2+3 siege tanks. Light is patient. He's a patient man. This is the definition of Scraptastic right now. But Horang2's up 140 to 103 supply. This third base does die. Holy crap. Finally goes down after so much effort. Oh, no. Oh, he got it. Okay. Well, the tanks were going to try to fire on the Zealots and not finish off this third base. Okay, that's bad. This is pretty bad for Horang2, but Light's only on 2. He's only on 2 bases. The third base just died. He's on 2 bases at 20 minutes, which is abjectly the worst thing for him. I mean, not having his natural either would be worse, in fairness. He doesn't have enough money to rebuild a new command center. Light, are you in an immense amount of trouble, sir? Blink once for yes. Blink twice for no. I don't know. He's evacuating the 3 o'clock base for Horang2. Okay, that's pretty good. But man, this is a brand new expansion. And I just can't shake the feeling that if he killed this, he would be in a better spot. Especially because he's on 3 bases. But you're not on 3 bases. Because your third base is floating. Double recall across the sky? What could it mean? Ooh, into Spider Mineville. A little bit dangerous to do this. Yeah, right on. Ow. So he unloads. He recalls like 2 Dragoot. Was he just testing the Spider Mine waters? I kind of love that from him. Oh, the scan wore off. This Dragoon's just having a great time. Light is likely to take center. Okay, I love it. I really enjoy this. Okay, just hanging. Just hanging out. Taking Goliath shots to the face. Remember what I said about the Arbiters dying with this strategy. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if the center is where you want to be. Is he floating a command center over? No. He's trying to retake his third and maybe take center, but Horang2's like, I don't think you should be allowed to do that, sir. Second Arbiter dies inside the main base. The third base is still getting fired at by Dragoons with +3 attack, +1 shields, and +1 armor. I don't know, this Goliath could work on this Nexus if he darn near wanted to. The third base for Horang2 is back. There are no probes at it, though. Stasis equally catching a Dragoon and a Science Vessel there. It's fair. It is tough, but fair. Siege tank's like, you can't kill me. I'm a tank, and you're an arbiter. You're tickling me. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Yeah, this is bad for Light. He's done 190 to 125 supply. He has no cash at all. He's long distance mining from this third base. He didn't feel safe enough to land it. Now he does. So he can take that income, but this game is absolutely scraptastic. Third base is back and mining for Horang2. His natural base is not back. Not sure he's interested in doing that at all. This 3 o'clock could probably be saturated again by, I don't know, maybe some of these probes who are passing it instead of going in here and actually mining. Not sure what this choice is all about at all. But yeah, 198 to 127 supply is bad. All right. Is Light going to move out here is the question. He's hanging. There you go. He's starting to get some cash. He's just worried about some kind of a giant attack coming from our dude, Horang2. But he seems to be hanging out here as well. What I thought. So replay broke. Let's back it up a bit. Some of the replay that I was casting there was not working. And one of the telltale signs is when there's a big mass of units hanging out. So, aha, he does manage. So the third base dies. He clears this out, but he does manage to get a command center in the center here. Okay, so that's nice. It is a nice trick. If it's a newer replay and it's broken, rewinding it often fixes it. If it's an older replay from like 2002 and it's broken, it's just probably broken. All right. I was wondering what this giant mass of units was. Dumb is what it was. Okay, so now he's more active with the... we're back. We're taking center. Things are different. Things are playing out differently here for sure. He is floating the main command center over to the 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock base. Yes, he is. Okay, and this time he actually wipes out the Nexus, which causes the evacuation of the probes. And that explains why the probes coming down earlier did not go here, because there's not a Nexus here in reality. Oh, I'm glad that worked. Okay, so what a weird experience to have. KKK, so top right base is happening here for our dude Horang2. Center, happily mining from light. He's in a much better position because of that. And he is... Oh, is there a spider mine in the way of his ability to land there? And here comes the double arbiter recall. Double arbiter across the sky here. Not enough energy on this one, but this one does... and he unloads more Dragoons this time, or recalls more Dragoons this time, too. All right, there's more of a response. Okay, so this is a much better version of the game. It's so weird how broken replay just makes the player seem kind of anemic. Like, they're low blood sugar or something. Yeah, he's got tank sieged up here. He's kind of messing up his ability to... Come on in. That Arbiter taking hits and dying would be huge, but it does pull back with all of 52 HP. Vultures rushing into battle. Scans revealing their presence. And then another attack into the 12 o'clock third base here, too, which has been under siege for so long. We got Zealots and Dragoons wandering into the center base that a desperate light has taken. He's trying to hold it with the siege tank here, but that Zealot jumped on his guys. And, Dragoons died, but the Zealot does take down the siege tank. The third base is back for Horang2 here. Stasising on the science vessels. This third base is under attack. The units are trying to get up here and save it. Can they do it? SCV's transferring up to this 12 o'clock. Because guess what? The center is dead. Horang2 is looking very strong right now. 143 to 99 supply. Light is really only true mining base is this 3 o'clock that's been under assault for so much that it's just not been mined out, right? I mean, we still have 780, 750 minerals on these mineral patches. I guess that's half. There are 1,500 mineral patches there. Anyway, yeah, man, 133 to 100 supply. This base being alive is nice. Wiping out the center base for Horang2 was nice too, though. And, yeah, third base getting saturated again. Okay, everything looks kosher there for sure. All right. Terran track starts up again here. Horang2 wouldn't mind killing some vultures if Light wants to send him his way. That is an oversaturated base if ever I've seen one. 32 SCVs effectively on one base right now. He's not even mining from the gas, from his natural. He is at the natural, but not the main. I don't know. I think this is Horang2's game to lose, right? He's 150 supply. All he has to do is kill this third, which is probably better defended than it's been the entire game. So easier said than done, but like honestly, a recall in here, another attack from the south here. It's worked for him so far. Did he get EMP'd? No, both of these arbiters have full energy. Okay, so they're ready for recalls, man. It's another scan. He's going to scan and see if there's a base here. No, thank goodness. He scans that the army is over in this direction, which indicates that maybe... Oh, he just found the vultures. Oh, okay, vulture harass. Loving that. Oh, yeah, catching all of these. Oh, he's trying to re-expand here. Lost all those probes, though. Only have 48 probes remaining, but still more than the 32 SCVs that exist for our Terran player Light here. So again, Light favored in this match, but Horang2 is in a very, very strong position. And I'm curious to see what he's going to be able to do with it, with this good position. Another starport being produced, maybe for more science vessels, more EMPs. That's maybe part of the ingredient. Part of the ingredients required to get a win in this game. But I don't know. I mean, I like how active he's being with his army here, and he's denying this base with the DT. I'm not sure that he doesn't know whether or not there are bases down in this bottom left, but he's not really checking it, which to me feels like a mistake. But maybe he's got some information that I am not privy to that way. More and more arbiters being produced. That's what the double Stargate was for, after all. It wasn't for carriers. We haven't seen a fleet beacon, though never say never, I guess. I don't know. He's never really sent his army up into this position. He's just YOLOing these vultures in, man. More probes are getting massacred. The target firing is excellent by Light, because of course it is, and he kills most of the probes here. There's like 2 or 3 remaining. 43 probes left to 32 SCVs. That's something he needed to do. I mean, again, oversaturation isn't exactly the most effective way to mine here, and Light really needs a 4th base if he's going to win this thing, but what move is he going to make to do that? That's the larger question here today, is how's he going to pull that off? Vulture's trying to be active, right? Just trying to be all over the place. While the tank count gets reproduced, these tanks just... Okay, we don't have to defend this anymore. We feel strong. We feel ready enough. Spider Mine just getting laid down all over the place at this base. Maybe, hopefully, to help him expand here someday, but this is where the army of Horang2 is. Science facility getting wiped out. Making more science vessels means you have to build another one of those. 11 zealots at a time being produced. As these vultures are dying, it's largely a tank Goliath army, and zealots are going to be pretty good in that situation. This is absolutely impressive play out of Horang2. He knows what to make when. He's doing a good job recognizing what he's killing and what units he needs to make to counter the current composition of the Terran player. Nope, recall coming up this left side. Is there room to EMP it? Instead, double stasis. So the second Arbiter comes through, avoids the EMPs, and recall right on top of some spider. Okay, wow. Right on top of some spider mines. So, like, 5 Dragoons are alive, and 2 of them are very dead. Extremely dead. Okay, that was bad news. More vulture attacks over at the 3 o'clock, man. Light is just... He's doing what he needs to do to win this game. He actually killed this cannon, too. I mean, when you have 3/3 upgrades, you can do better things as vultures. So many better things as vultures. This is mining out, though. Light is in an immense amount of trouble. He's going to land his 4th base over here at the 9 o'clock. Is it enough? I don't know. I don't know if it's enough. He's denying pretty much all of the mining at this base. You have to send a couple, like a Dragoon over to deal with this, which is honestly kind of funny. Oh, never mind. 4th base not happening. A handful of Dragoons are here to shut that down. Thanks. All right, so these are YOLO vultures again. More probes dying, but the vultures are getting as good as they give. 51 to 31 is still a pretty big advantage economically for the Protoss here, which he needs. Because again, the cost efficiency of the mech is pretty good, especially the siege tanks, you know, and the vultures too. Vultures are cheap. They get a lot of work done. So 4th base would land if the army would get out of the way. Horang2. Big army down here. All right, what do we got? He sent... Oh, that's another recall group, isn't it? He's going to try to recall into this. Just gets obliterated by a million Goliaths. Okay, that did not work at all. 182 supply here. Light, he's got SCVs. He could send over this way. He's transferring a whole bunch. Long distance mining happening. Never a good thing at all. This top right base has been here so long, it's effectively getting mined out. And here comes Horang2. He's got a big scary army who's going for the recall, but, you know, short of that. Let's just walk across the map and kill these transferring SCVs. Yeah, baby, let's get them. Yeah. Ooh, yeah, these ones are dying. That's great stuff. I don't know. I don't know how Light wins this game. It's 197 to 110 supply. This is an absolutely impressive display from Horang2 in a way that I am very impressed by. Oh, Obs does get killed by the missile turret. EMP catching, a group. Actually, did that work? I don't know if that worked. These Zealots seem to have decent shields. I guess that one doesn't. Another EMP. All right, catches that Arbiter. Defensive Matrix is up, trying to hold against an oncoming Protoss onslaught here. I don't think Light can hang on. This is his newest source of income. He's got a bunch of siege tanks here. Zealots dragging spider mines into siege tanks. Wipes out 3 of them. Sacrificing their bodies. They'll be back as Dragoons. Don't worry about it. These Dragoons are like, wait. There are like, what, 3 tanks left up here? We could do this. Yeah, tank down. And SCV's body blocking. It's a desperate situation here for Light. Reinforcing tanks coming in, but they're not sieged up. They're doing the damage they can do. SCVs, when they're forced to fight this hard in a direct encounter and confrontation, it's not a good sign at all. But reinforcing, okay, defender's advantage here. We've got Vultures in the mix. 109 to 63 supply. It's still double the supply here. So, I mean, still gotta feel pretty good, Horang2 does. I mean, this base, this is life. This is the lifeblood of Light's entire existence. Although Light just retook center. Okay. Again, desperate players take center. Incredibly confident players take center. And I think Light, at this moment, feels more desperate than confident in order to take this base. Because it is so hard to hold. As we saw, it got wiped out 10, 15 minutes ago. Horang2 sharking around the outside, trying to see if he can get in there. Siege tank count is 4. Covering it. Not a ton, but the Vulture support is good. Science vessels here too. Ready. One's ready for EMPs anyway. Arbiter just beelining in here. And good stasis. Stasis seeing some SCVs. And catching, I think, one of the tanks maybe? Another tank does get stasis, and this center going down. Horang2's taking the natural base location of this top right spawn too. I think Light's been fighting very hard this game. He's still about half the supply, though, of the Protoss. Center base dies. Command center down. Hurts so much. So very, very much. I don't know. Like, Light's doing what he can, right? He's going to try to kill some more probes up here in the top right. Still 52 workers here. I mean, Horang2 is replacing them pretty much as fast as they die, which, you want to be increasing your worker count, not maintaining it. But in the situation where he has such a lead, I think maintaining is going to be just fine for him at this stage of this particular game. Third base done for Horang2. The 3 o'clock is still happening. Top right, no minerals being mined from it. Another scan. He scans his own stuff? Weird. No, he's got spider mines here. He scanned something else. I don't know what it was. Vultures versus buildings and arbiters versus anything. Who wins? Getting this right side base, man. 3 o'clock has been murderer's row. 45 probes now. Down from 52. 23 SCVs. Down from 31. Probe transfer. Yeah, had to wait for an observer to kill those spider mines and then heading up. As these vultures get a couple more kills before the cannons wipe them out. 43 to 23 workers here. 1 base mining for Light, but really kind of only 1 base mining right now for Horang2. But he is resaturating this, 1 o'clock base, so that's good. 129 to 51 supply is the worst position Light's been in for the last couple of minutes anyway. Not trying to retake the center. Kind of learned his lesson that way. Expanding down this way, DT has 4 kills and 1 HP. He's only subsisting on shields right now, which means an EMP would ruin him absolutely entirely. And checking to see, is it safe to expand this way? I don't know. Archon floating over the spider mines, doing big chunks of damage to them. That's what we're talking about. No storm in this game. I'm just realizing all the gas went to arbiters. We're at 35 minutes and there hasn't been a single storm. That is interesting. Didn't even realize it. Yeah, free Dragoon's never good. Is this it? I mean, this is just kind of walking across the map. He has to defend this base so hard that he's just gonna, I think he's just gonna lose his main, which is usually the purview of Protoss, right? They're the ones that lose their main bases, not Terran players. But in this case, I don't know, losing your main base pretty much just means you're dead. He's trying to send some units up here to save it, but he's outnumbered 140 to 57 supply, which isn't even a 2-to-1 ratio. It's worse than that. Yeah, I think getting up this ramp and killing everything shouldn't be that hard. Although maybe he does want to engage here. He does wipe out a science vessel. Big get. EMP caught the Archon, and the tanks finished it off. Sick play there by Light. He is pushing the envelope here. He's going to... 2 Dragoons. 2 Dragoons will stay up here. The rest of them will jump on these unsieged siege tanks. And then he recalls on him, and that's a GG. Light taps out, and Horang2 is your winner. Yeah, I mean, if it's a 36-minute game and you as a Terran have never really even... I was going to say, hasn't even attempted a 5th base, but he did. I guess the center counts as a 5th base, right? Yeah, this 3rd base, he actually mined it out. I'm impressed by that, considering how much it was under attack. His 4th base was happening. I guess he did get a 5th base here in the center for a little bit, a couple times. But man... never expanding to the corners. Unfighting Spirit in 37 minutes is not a good thing. The Protoss Horang2 did not have a good time either here today. But he did just enough. His recalls were good. His upgrades were good. He was defensive enough. He was aggressive enough, especially on this 3rd base, to really slow down Light's ability to get up a huge, scary mech army. And he just traded out tanks a whole lot. That's a great example right here. So Horang2 gets the win against someone who, you know... the better of the 2 players. But that's why we cast these games. That's why we watch them, is because we don't know. Because it's very easy for us to say, oh yeah, well this player obviously should win against this player, but then you watch it and different things happen. It is crazy. Insane. All right, so let's check out that final score. Hit that like button if you enjoyed it. Protoss fans, I know you did. For sure. 268,000 points to 250 in favor of the Protoss. He got outproduced, but he outkilled by a pretty generous number there. And resources are going to tell the whole story here, right? 81,000 to 55,000 resources in 36 minutes is nuts for Horang2. Killer amounts of income. Light was starving the whole game, and a starving Terran really struggles. Really struggles, right? To get anything going and to be scary. So well done. I mean, that was... woof. It was really impressive stuff from Horang2, gotta say. So that right there is gonna be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching. And you take care of yourself.